Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mupo and Friends. I'm Holly Lombardi.
And I'm Michele Mupo.
And we are brought to you by Mupo TV. You can watch all our shows at www.mupoentertainment.com. And you can live chat with us every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern on YouTube at Mupo Entertainment.
Join us on Mupo and Friends as we bring you a look at our favorite celebrities, okay? And the community leaders that they live in, their lives, their passions, and what they're doing to actually impact the world. We're bringing you fun, relatable, entertaining content that not only you can enjoy, but I can enjoy and Holly can enjoy as well.
That's right. So don't forget to join us every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to take a quick break and be right back with a very special guest. And we're back. Welcome back to Mupo and Friends, everyone. Our very special guest today is an American professional wrestler and country singer. She is best known for her time spent with WWE Wrestling. This wife and mother is a 6-time WWE Women's Wrestling Champion and a 3-time Women's Impact Knockouts Champion, as well as an inductee to the Native American Music Awards Hall of Fame and winner of 3 NAMA awards. She's literally part of the Pocahontas family tribe. Please give a warm welcome to the one and only Mickie James. Hello, Mickie.
Hi. Oh, it's got me flipped again. Let me do it again.
Here you go.
There we go.
Hello, Mickie. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Excellent. It's great to have you. I've been so looking forward to meeting you for so long.
Oh, you're so sweet. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about this. I know I've talked to Michele several times about coming on and it just didn't align. And so here we are. Now we're here.
And for the record, Mickie is in my Ride or Die group. So anyone messes with her, they're messing with me.
She's part of the Mupo familia.
That's right. We go. She's part of the Mupo mafia. So I got to tell you, Mickie, you know how you always stay in shape? Like you just have you have a knockout. You do have a knockout body. So
I appreciate that.
I know you have a fitness program regimen that you do. And I saw you post something on Instagram. They were like a bottle of pills. So tell me about that because
I have to say we talk about fitness and I've been working out since I was like 18 years old. So it's always been a part of my life, but it wasn't like I studied it, but my husband, Nick, he studies it like books on it. He wrote a fitness book a while back ago, the Superstar Body on it. Like he's just obsessed. He's obsessed with working out. And then I really got more into like the nutrition aspect of like all that stuff after I had Donovan. So, and like coming back from that, but our legacy brand, we launched it, and I say we, but Nick has been the foundation for this whole thing, but we launched it at the beginning of the year. And then just last month, we had our best month yet. And so super excited. It's just growing really like, it's just something that's kind of, and it's cool because, it is something that I like the products. I truly believe in them and I stand behind it, but we're getting ready to launch a women's line. So we've just been looking, I just was actually looking through and kind of helping like try to pick and cultivate a female line that's more in line with like what I like, because the first stack, I mean, obviously I think what's why it's doing so well is because it's not like you go to the website right now and there's like this catalog of 100 different products to go buy. Like he's kind of cherry picked these products with like men in line, like in mind of like what we do. But then there's an amazing fat burner on there and an amazing sleep aid, which is all natural kind of. And I honestly, I take that instead of melatonin anymore. I just take this recovery PM, and it's perfect because it's like recovery after your workouts or through the day. And then also to get a decent night's sleep and then feel rested when you wake up in the morning. Like what a blessing that is. So yeah, it's been great. It's been going really, really great. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the ladies line coming out. So yeah, her legacy.
That's exciting. Congratulations.
But is there a fat burning for the women?
I'm putting, that's what I'm looking at now and seeing if like both fat, like you can take, I take right now, I only off of our line, I use the fat burner, I use the sleep aid, and I use the pre-workout. And I don't use the pre-workout as much as Nick does because I don't like things like that as much in my drinks, you know, like if I want water, I want water. I don't even put like Crystal Light or like I don't do that Mio as much anymore. I just want water. But before my workouts, I'll have it. It's great. And yeah, so those are the things that I take. And then there's also a test booster on there for men, which we also had like this gentleman wrote in, and they were working on, him and his wife had been working on their second child for like 2 years. And they got on this, he ordered the test stack just out of nowhere. And then like a month later, she was pregnant.
Wow.
Crazy. Wow. I was like, oh,
that is a great testimony.
Yes, we need this testimony up on the website, babe. Like get this up there. That's amazing. So
where can people go to look at it?
It's legacysups.com. Like, so SUPPS.
Send me the links and we'll post it. Cause you know what? So for those of you who don't know, like a lot of these people on here, I know everybody knows wrestling, but like Nick has he really does have a perfect body. For me to say it, he does. Like he's proportioned perfectly like a Ken doll. You know what I'm saying? Like
I agree. He does. I mean, if you ask him that, he'll sit there and nitpick himself apart.
No,
he'll nitpick himself apart.
He does. He does have perfect arms. Like I remember, from the house, but
he's obsessed though. And it's really like, and obsessed in a good way. Like he really studies every aspect of it, from the training to the eating, to the, to the supplements, to the recovery, to the importance of sleep, all these things. Like, it's not just let's go in there and pump some weights, or I'm just going to take a bunch of, supplements. It's like, he really like just dives into all of it. So
yeah, Holly, Nick would be good for your health and wellness show.
Absolutely. Yeah. Especially the fact that he's putting so much research into it. Both of you are, and you with the women's line. It's great because it's a lot of people do these fad diets and things, and they don't really know why they're taking what they're taking. And to have the knowledge is so important.
Education. It is knowledge. Yeah, you should definitely talk to him. And I don't believe in, all these fad diets. And I look back at it, like when I was younger, I could totally, I have a photo shoot for whatever in 2 weeks. So, okay, I'm going to cut my carbs, cut my sugars, fat burn, and do cardio. And I'll still, weight train, but it's mostly like I'm trying to lean up. Right. So then I would cut it. Whereas I equate that a lot to fad diets, because you go on this yo-yo and you jack your body, your natural body stuff up, because you're not being consistent. So it doesn't know what it wants. Like, it's like, oh shoot, I'm not getting any food. So then when you go to start eating again, it wants to hold on to everything because you just starved it for 2 weeks. Like, it's like all these little things. So consistency is key. And I think that, fat, if they work for you, that's awesome. But what I find is people don't commit to fad diets, right? Like they will commit to them for short-term gains, and then they'll see those gains and they'll think, oh, awesome. But then they're bored of it. They get bored of not eating carbs. They get bored of being keto friendly. They just get bored of it, So I think that it's better to have a good, clean diet with natural, try to stay away from processed foods, try to stay away from processed sugars and all this stuff. And if you allow yourself to have like a little bit of this stuff, so you don't then binge later with 3 candy bars, like, there's ways to work around it. Right. Like, instead of going to grab a candy bar, I'll grab a protein bar, or I'll grab a Nutri-Grain bar and a sliver, like I have so many like little trial size pieces of chocolates,
Right.
because I love chocolate and salt, like, so I have like my pretzels if I need something salty, or I have like little trial size pieces of chocolates if I'm desperate for that chocolate. But most times I'll reach for like a candy bar, a protein bar, or instead of a candy bar. It's like, and to go out, like that's the art of like learning to eat on the road, is because you truly can eat healthy, and it's a lot easier than like we make it to be. And I don't think that even like pre-prepped, besides like, your pre-prepped food, but like the, little microwave dinners that are like lean cuisines and stuff, like, yeah, they're a good option, but they're also loaded with sodium and loaded with like a bunch of crap that you don't need. And you could get just as much by just ordering a salad with grilled chicken or whatever your protein of choice is, and just tell them to cut the butter, you can really do it. Like I've had to learn how to eat right on the road for a long time. So
I saw a video of you with Michele where you were on the road at one of the locations you were staying, and you were really making the most of what they offered. And, a lot of times they put out sugar, they put out all kinds of heavy foods, and you had the oatmeal, the eggs, you managed to make a really healthy meal out of the options that were there. Just really knowing about your options, how to select the best foods when you're on the road.
I lose weight every time I go and hang out with Mickie. I lose weight.
Do you?
I do, because I eat like so much, because you're eating so much. Like people don't realize not that you eat so much, but I'm saying like you eat, like I eat one meal a day if I'm lucky, and you eat like a breakfast, lunch, and dinner and some snacks, and you're skinny and you're fit and you have no fat on you.
But well, I don't know about that, especially right now, because
I could pick you up over my head. Trust me.
But you're feeding your body in increments what it needs, and you're giving it like its specific times. So they say when you do that, it actually leans you and helps you lose weight. If skipping meals a lot, you can gain it back.
No, I know.
Right. Well, because when you only eat once a day, what happens is then when you eat that one time, your body's
told me this
going
many
like,
times, by the way.
I need all of this. I have to hold on to all of this because I don't know when I'm going to get fed again. And what happened? And then the body turns that and stores that into fat and into those problem areas, so then it can go in there and grab them when you're starving yourself. So people are like, oh, it's not about like, oh, I eat like 6 times a day. Cause I'm like, oh, I'm actually really bad about sitting down, because we as women multitask all day long. So to sit down and have a full meal, but I tell you what I do, I snack. I snack all day. And it's just, I choose those healthy options. Like I have a spoon to 2. I mean, I have spoonfuls of peanut butter all the time. Like that's my jam. Nutri-Grain bars. I love bananas, like a banana and peanut butter, or an apple and some peanut butter that's like a meal for me, like a midday, like a snack meal kind of thing, or some almonds or pretzels. I mean, I'm a snacker. I'm more of a snacker.
You're
and then
a healthy
I probably
snacker. You're a healthy snacker.
Yeah. You know and depending on my day and what that day looks like, I always say, they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, because you wake up and your body's already starving from sleeping for the last 8 hours and getting nothing, or however long you sleep. But so I always try to, have my coffee and try to eat something. And then, I just rock it on. But my only like full sit down where I'll actually sit down and have a meal is probably dinner. Unless it's like we've booked a lunch somewhere or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had some fun tips. Dinner times.
Yeah.
We did. Your mom.
Most of my dinners consist of like a liquid diet.
I was like, okay. Oh my gosh. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back with more from Mickie James. Hello, everybody. And we are back on Mupo and Friends with our very special guest, Mickie James.
Hello.
Mickie, I have a question. Do you have any tips when you're sidelined with an injury?
Well, I just kind of actually went through this because I tore my ACL not
Ouch.
too long ago. Yeah. And it was my first time I've had, injuries before, but it was the first one that I actually got, like, it wasn't that I required surgery. It's just the first one that I kind of actually did, because when I separated my shoulder before, I didn't realize the damage that I had truly done. And I just kind of worked through it, or like took some time off. But anyway, the ACL was a real deal. It was like 9 months of rehab and, from the surgery. And I just was completely unaware of like how much I wasn't going to be able to do on my own. And I'm such a control freak and so independent that it was a real struggle. Like it was plus and having to depend on everybody and do all that. So, I think that start that sentence over. I think that my, best tip would be like more to, make sure you like get your creative space, because you can feel pretty stuck like that because you can't do all the things that you're used to doing. So perhaps to use that time to try to open up different things that you haven't had the time to focus on, that require you to then sit back and kind of be still for a minute. And obviously, for me, that rehab was everything. Like I was completely dedicated to my rehab.
And she actually healed very quickly and was able to come to an event because I wanted to go see GC himself, Uncle GC, and he wasn't there, but we saw Tony Robbins.
We did.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
And he came right in front of us because of Mickie. It was because of you, Mickie.
We locked eyes. I locked eyes with Tony Robbins, and I was like, "I get you, brother."
No, he knew exactly who she was. In fact, I went over to the guy who was running the program and told him that she was in the house. And he thought I was really full of crap. And he looked over and he's like, "Oh shit, it is her." And then he went and he goes like this, right? And then we were sitting in the first 2 rows, right? Was it the first? Yeah,
but not the first 2 rows. Actually, we were in the second back.
Yeah, but we were in the first 2 in the second. He
walked down and was like walking around. He totally did come stand right in front of us and like look.
For 30 minutes,
I don't think
he spoke.
Knew. I thought it was just we connected on a soul level.
No, he knew because he was looking right at. And then the funniest thing was that Mickey's mom and Aunt Charlene, she was just like, "Oh my God, Shireen." I'm saying Charlene. Shireen, yeah. She was just like, "Oh my God, they were fun." That was like one of the funnest weekends I've ever had in my life.
That was so much fun. Yeah. They were like, "He's so dreamy." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Here I am. I'm thinking like he's empowering me. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to take over the world." My mom's like, "Swoon."
I'm like, that energy. No.
And then these kids behind us realized who Mickie, like they knew who Mickie was. They were freaking out. Remember, they were like, "Please follow us, please follow us."
I do. I followed them on Instagram.
I know. Me too. What nice. Are they? They serve for our country right now so that we could be free.
Yeah.
Which I think is amazing.
Cool. Yeah.
So it is what it is.
You must get recognized so much everywhere you go. How do you handle it?
I feel like I go incognito a lot of times. Like I'm always got a hat on and stuff like that. I kind of float below because I just kind of dress down unless I'm going to an event, like an actual event where I need to dress up. Then it's, but it's always the most random places like grocery stores and the Walmart as I'm trying to like baseball cap it in the Walmart. That's where I'll get recognized,
Or over the loudspeaker. Mickie James is at Walmart.
Aisle 4. No, it used to. I feel like it used to be like obviously at the true height of when I first came on the WWE scene. That is when it was overwhelming because I was getting recognized. I couldn't do anything, like everything. It was cool, but then it was also very invasive, and then felt like I couldn't do anything, and I was nervous Now I still get recognized a lot, but I'm just in a different place with it where it's just like, "Oh, it's cool," or whatever. I've gone through phases with it. You know what I mean? Like where at first I was so excited, but also overwhelmed. And then after I left WWE, I got to the space where I was like, I just kind of want to hide away in my little hermit shell and I don't want to be seen or recognized. So I was just kind of like, and then now I'm really like, it's kind of cool. It is cool. You know, it's just that like, I think it's because now that I've been in that space for a while now, it's just more on a respect level too. So it's not like, you know, it is finding that art because I guess because I never had that fandom or I was never, and I can't say this because I've never met like one of my like huge idols that I think that I would like legit lose my mind over, you know what I mean? So the idea of me like going up and interrupting someone's dinner at, you know, when they're there with their family just seems so foreign to me. I just be like, oh my God, it mortifies me to think that if I was, so then when it happens to me, I'm just like, oh, so awkward. But it's also amazing because people actually want to talk to you. And so it's like a balance thing, isn't it?
So one thing that amazes me about you, Mickie, is that when we go out to eat or when we go, like, I don't know, everywhere we go, someone does recognize you, right? But they don't realize, like your fans, they hit me up to this day on Instagram. Oh, I'm so upset that Mickey's not on the WWE. I'm like, so don't watch it. Just don't watch it. If nobody watches it, they're going to bring her back. You know what I mean?
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And I don't think that they should not watch it. If they love wrestling, regardless if I'm there or not, well,
they love you.
Then they can still watch me wherever I go, whatever I do, they'll still watch me.
But you know what kills me though, is that people don't realize, and I want you to tell them, being a girl, now I know the guys wear the same trunks every time they go out in the ring, right? So they have one or two outfits. The girls get paid less money. Let's talk about this. They get paid less money and they have to get their nails done every week. They have to get their hair done. They need makeup. They need a different outfit every time. I don't think I've seen like some of the girls wear a different outfit every time. That's costly. So all that money that the WWE gives you, you're putting it into yourself as a product.
Right.
Well, and you are investing in yourself, and that's just it, right? Like, so you constantly, like, I always got new gear for every pay-per-view I was a part of. Every pay-per-view I would get new gear because I could always rotate my wrestling. I mean, gear is pretty expensive in itself because it's not just, it's the time that it has to make it. It's not like you can just pump it. I could just go to the store and buy my gear, right? Like I have to have the designer come in, pick the design. We have to pick the colors. We have to pick what we're going to do, the crystals and all this other stuff. So by the time it takes a while to get the piece made, but yeah, I mean, first off, we're independent contractors. So it is what it is. It's like women are, you know, they are paid less. You're absolutely, and hopefully it's getting to a space now where that's becoming a little bit more balanced, but you know, it is, but we also spend a lot more. We spend money on our hair. We spend money on our nails. We spend money on our Botox. We spend money on our, you know, some girls really spend a lot of money on a lot of those things. We spend money on our gear. We spend money on like fun, pizzazzy stuff. The guys can, some of the guys are a little bit more diva-ish, I guess. So they'll have more elaborate costumes and jackets and stuff, but you're right. It's more or less like boots and trunks and, you know, unless their thing is like suits or something that they have to go, you know.
No, it just people don't understand it. And the women
how much
should
money
get more.
Plus we don't get our cars or our hotels or any of that taken care of either. So we book all of that stuff.
I thought it was the first 300 miles. After 300 miles, didn't they used to book a plane?
Oh, right.
Or did that change?
Well, no, we get a flight. No, we get our flights. The flight's taken care of to get you to the town. And then once you're in like said town or whatever,
you have to pick up
anything
car.
under $300. Yeah. Anything under 300 miles is a drive. So
like,
then, but that's a long time in a car, 300 miles.
I've
done it many a times. I know. I'm just like,
I've done it with you on the phone.
Yeah.
Many a nights. She'll call me in the middle of the night and she'd be like,
oh, I'm getting a little sleepy because I was
let
always
me just call Shell.
Yeah.
Road buddy service. Yep.
Yeah.
Stay awake.
My therapist. No.
What drew you to wrestling? I'm curious.
I was a fan of it. And I'm still a fan of it. I grew up a fan of it. My dad, like it was our bonding thing. My dad and my sisters and I, because I would see my dad on the weekends, every other weekend or whatever. And I just remember, I mean, my sister LaToya and I, we're 21 months apart, same mother, same father. And then my parents separated when I was about 2.5. then my dad remarried, and I had my youngest sister, Susan. And so when we would all get together, like when my sister Latoya and I would go to my dad's house and Susan, it was just kind of our thing. And we would beat up on our dad during commercial breaks. Poor thing. I'm surprised he wasn't like seriously injured, or that we weren't seriously injured, because I think sometimes he forgot that we were children when he body slammed us. So it was a three of us on him. We elbow drops, belly flops, all of it. We destroyed him. Poor thing. And he was just, yeah.
Wow. The whole family that wrestles together stays together.
Yeah. No, it was pretty amazing, but that's where I fell in love with wrestling. And it was like that old school wrestling at the time. And that's where, you know, we were in Virginia. So it was like a lot of the mid-Atlantic stuff and Georgia Championship Wrestling and a lot of that stuff that would get fed up. And that's the kind of stuff like old school wrestling that he just loved. And so that's kind of what I first started watching, and then fell out of it and went down, you know, school and my horses and boys, and then fell back in love with it during the whole Attitude Era. Like it just recaptured my whole, it was so cool. Because it was cool. Wrestling was cool. It was edgy. It was fun. It was exciting. It was cool. You know, it was doing all the stuff that you couldn't do and say in real life.
Yeah,
so
I think
true.
every family had it in, you know, like I remember my brother wanting to be Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah.
But I would walk in the room. He's 9 years older than me, and I would get slammed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's true.
Crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're doing so much better, and it's just crazy. I want to get into the music part of it, because people don't realize, like, I know Holly's going to really get the gist of it, because Holly doesn't really follow wrestling. So you and her divas in your own sense, like you and her really are going to hit it off. But the music.
Hi, diva.
Thanks. Diva.
You know me, I'm just Jersey. But what steered you toward music? Like,
well, I've always loved music, and I always, you know, as we all do, like when we're kids, like, oh, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. So I know that there was this moment like, oh, I'm going to be a singer. And I just didn't really think, I never went after it because I just didn't think I was very good at it. I didn't think I was a good singer. I didn't think, so I would sing like in the car, on my horse, in the shower. But then when I was on, and I wrote a lot, I took a creative writing and novel class in school. And so writing was always an art and a lot of that stuff. I've just always been a creative and an artistic person. I think that's really the gist of it. And I found myself, as I was doing those the first time on the road, I found myself writing so much in a lyrical sense. I was writing in a lot of song form, and I played the violin for 5 years through middle and high school, and kind of, you know, I wish I'd never stopped playing, because now I'm like, especially on a songwriting aspect, I'm like, God, I wish I could just play this, because I'll have to hum it to a friend of mine and be like, it sounds something like this is what I'm hearing, like for melody and stuff. So I write more in a lyrical sense. Like I write lyrics, and then I'll work with artists, and we'll try to come up with melodies and then tighten down the lyrics to actually fit the melody. And so, yeah, it's a
lot of fun in the studio, guys. A lot of fun.
I love to have fun in the studio. It's just so amazing to see, like when you've written something, and like, and you've really poured your heart and soul in this paper, but then you can kind of hear the music and you can kind of say it. But then when I tell the musician or whoever I'm working with, this is kind of what I'm hearing, and then they do it, and
That's magic.
Like it's incredible. It's just so cool to like feel something legitimately come to life and have a breath put into it to where it then feels real. You know, it's like, it just makes it so powerful. I think especially if it's lyrics that are really, really powerful. You know, there's one thing to hear like, I'm going to whip some ass comes to life, but it's another thing when it's a powerful, powerful message. And it really, like that, for the love of a child, or even for my Christmas song, hearing that thing come to life, and knowing like how special it was when I wrote it in that space, but then hopefully that it inspires or is a message for someone that hears it. And it's awesome, because I always think like,
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Why country over any other genre? Is it that it tells a story?
I think it's the songwriting aspect because, you know, it's like, I love all kinds of music and I legit listen to everything. I grew up on everything from Madonna to Prince to Waylon to, everybody, because my mom was more Prince and Michael Jackson and Madonna and Paula Abdul, that whole, you know, kind of thing. But my stepdad was more like outlaw country, and it was Waylon and it was Willie and it was this old, you know, Georgia Satellite, stuff like that. And then my dad is very like old R&B and just soul, like Al Green and Otis Redding and like sitting on the dock of the bay. So it's just such an eclectic like group. And then of course I grew up with 90s hip hop, you know, I grew up with all that stuff. So there's like, I just love music. And I think that I've always gravitated to songs. It's never been like one song style. It's just more of the songs that tell a story that I can follow and kind of resonate with. But I tend to lean more in that Southern rock and country style when I write. That's what I think. That's where I'd more chosen that path.
You definitely are.
Yeah.
And for the record, I'm back.
I'm back, bitches.
I'm back. I'm already starting to write.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Fuchsia is back.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I had to just get right with myself. And Mickie,
Michele and I actually wrote a couple songs together that never saw the light of day. Yeah.
Well, maybe they are going to now. We're gonna
maybe
they will, because you know why? Oh, payback's a bitch, man. Let me tell you, when somebody says no, you can't do something, you know, that's all it was. When somebody says no, I'm gonna have to show you now. Well, no.
I know that feeling. I do the same thing. I'm very.
Well,
you said I can't do that.
Yeah, they said. Well, they said, oh yeah, you can't get back in the swing of things. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? I could write 3-5 songs a day, and they'll all be hits. Okay, that's gonna be my next course.
Why haven't you helped me write a hit yet? Then
Mickey's like, when are we going in the studio?
We could do that tonight. We could do that tonight or tomorrow, whatever you want. I will sit down with you. We'll do a Zoom, and I'm not joking.
Okay. Well, not tonight because I have dinner plans, and then tomorrow
I have the company meeting.
I have to do another doing Renee Young's podcast, the Oral Sessions.
Nice.
And it's our show. It's God TV on Wednesdays, every Wednesday.
Yeah,
live at 5.
We actually want to talk about God. We're going to take another quick break. God TV. Did I say God?
Yeah, God. Accent. God
TV. And we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back to talk about this with the one and only Mickie James. And we're back on Mupo and Friends with Mickie James. And Mickie, we want to talk about GAW, Grown Ass Women TV.
Yeah.
How did this come together? I know everybody's trying to hear this story.
Oh, well, COVID obviously is what happened. I think that, honestly, I've been friends with both Val and Lisa for a very long time. And Lisa and I have, from WWE to Impact Wrestling back to, life after wrestling. And I think that it was just really, really cool because all three of us had separately talked about possibly doing a podcast or a show or something together. It was just a matter of time. And then Val she's married and in the UK now. So she's living out there and has been in lockdown. Their lockdown was way worse than our lockdown, so it's just kind of something to give us to do. And I was home with my injury. I was home with my ACL and rehabbing and not on the road. So it honestly gave us something fun to do that was different than every other platform that's just going in there and talking about wrestling or different shows, like a way to get women from three different sides of the injury, from three different sides of the industry, like Val very much on the presenter and the host and an interviewer, and a manager role, but never really as a wrestler, because that was never her forte. And she did a lot of work from behind the scenes on a production level, to myself, who was still very active, but a mom and a wife and all these things, and still very active in wrestling, to Lisa, who's now on the other side of it, retired, but then comes from fitness background and has done acting and done so much. So it was just cool to be able to sit down and just kind of tell like locker room stories, or things that, like, it's literally a pajama party. Like, if we were on the road together and then we got to the next town, most people probably think like, oh, they're going to go party and do all these, sometimes, but most times this is what you're getting. You're getting like, we're in our room with a bottle of wine and our pajamas, just laughing about whatever and decompressing from the road trip or whatever. And that's what pretty much our show is. And it really focuses on like everything. It really focuses. We pull in friends from, we had Ginger Minjin from RuPaul's Drag Race. We've had so many amazing. We had Girl Powerful in, which does the girl empowerment, like for young ladies trying to find their voice. We've had Peter Madrigal from Vanderpump Rules. Like, we've had so many cool people from all different, walks of life, but we also have all our female locker room wrestling friends and to talk about all kinds of crazy stuff. So it's fun.
I bet your fans love it. They get to actually feel like they're hanging out with you and like they're there with you.
Right.
Yeah. Our copywriter, Teresa, who's also a writer for the magazine that we have, she loves your show.
Yay!
Absolutely loves your show. Yeah. And the funniest thing is, like, so I know Lisa and Val. So, so I booked Lisa at one point, and one time I'll never forget, Lisa we had time on our hands, and we went to some, it was in Rutgers. She was in New Brunswick in town. And you remember, I don't know if you remember Dan, your fan, Dan, he's really tall with glasses. Dan the man. You know Dan, you know which one I'm talking about though, right?
Maybe if
he used to come.
Maybe.
Okay, so Dan oh my God. I call him Dan Calabrese or whatever his name is. I can't even say his name, but I just call him Dan.
He's gonna love this. Can't wait.
And you know what the funniest thing is? I talk to him all the time, and I can't say his last name.
I know.
And he's Italian. But anyway, so his hand got caught in my car door, and Lisa just slammed it right on his door. And we went drinking out, and then we came out. It was like Club Town, and it was like all the clubbers, from college were out. So we're dancing, and obviously Lisa got recognized. And so then we were going in the car, and then Dan was just being Dan. He was so funny. And then all of a sudden he slammed, Lisa she goes, "Get in, Dan." And she pushed him in. And I guess his hand was out, and she slammed the door on his hand. And he was like,
"Oh no."
Yeah. And I'll never forget that. Oh my God.
Oh, my God.
I was laughing so hard I couldn't stop. I was just like,
was he okay?
No, he wasn't. He
was not okay. No,
the kid.
Story did not have a happy ending.
No, but he knew it was like, he knew that it was like an accident. You know what I mean? But he was so cute.
Did he break his hand, or did he have to go to the hospital? Or
no, but it was all swollen. We went home and then we put ice on it. We went to 9 Ellen Street in New Brunswick there, you know it well. So yeah,
I'm not gonna ask.
It was my grandmother. So anyway, Mickie Khan, I'm gonna tell you a story about Mickie because she's got a heart of gold. So my grandmother at the time, Mary Mupo, is a huge wrestling fan. Mickie comes in, she's freaking out, and she's telling everyone that Mickey's her granddaughter, right? Am I right or wrong? She couldn't get up off the chair because she's like, was 100 years old or something, like 99 years old at the time.
I think she was like 99.
Yeah, and she couldn't get up because she had like a cerebral hematoma, like she was had a blood clot in her brain, and when they sawed her brain, she was never the same after that surgery. So the guy next door somebody died. They had the chair for a week, and they were like, "Oh," Mickey's like, "Hey, that's a nice chair." And then he realized it was Mickie. And he's like, well, because he was going to throw it out. And he's like, "Well, do you want it?" And we were like, "Yeah." And then we realized it was so damn heavy, we couldn't pick it up. It was really heavy. Was it or was it not? It had a machine.
It was a heavy chair. A heavy chair. I didn't remember saying, hey, that's a nice chair, buddy.
No,
do you want it? Sure. Where was I going to put said chair?
No,
I couldn't take it with me.
Maybe I said it then. Maybe I said it was nice and he was, but because Mickie was there, the bottom line is Mickie was there and he was all googly eyed over Mickie that he, this is when, no, I'm being serious.
I know.
We were in the studio at the time. And then, so we were having our coffee and when we saw, well, anyway, we had the guy next door. I don't even remember who that was. There was a new tenant every week. So this guy comes in and he started freaking out. Oh my God, adios mios, Mickie James. It's Mickie James. Remember him? And he wound up he drugged the chair in. She like had him, he was ready to just pull it in. And it was the funniest thing. And it was hilarious. Brought the chair in for my grandmother. We plugged it in and my grandmother, we were trying to show her how to use the button to go up and down.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then we go to the studio and how many people were outside of the house waiting for Mickey's autograph?
I don't know. There was some people out there, but I don't know how they knew what studio we were at or where we were recording with the music that we never released.
I know we have to release it. Well, you know what? I'm going to update that because
to be announced.
To be continued.
To be continued.
It will be because those songs were excellent.
Yeah, there was some good ones in there. Yeah.
So what speaking of which songs, your music, what kind of songs have you been writing? Are you able to give some
this whole time I've been writing every album I've put out, I've put 2 full albums out and a bunch of singles out. I've been signed, my second album, I was signed with E1 Music Nashville. And then my third, where I just put out a bunch, which was really cool. I did the Yin Yang song. I did the duet with them. And I did a bunch of stuff with SMG Music and Media, but they were out of Grand Rapids. But this whole time during all this quarantining and everything, I've been writing and writing and writing. So this next album I'm putting it out on my own label, which I've just opened up. Yes, I've got Firewater Records. But I'm really excited about that, but it's all stuff that I wrote. So it's just, I wanted to be able to put out just a very original project that was not led by anybody else, but just what I wanted to write and what I wanted to sing. And so that's kind of what I've been doing. I just worked with these girls, Chapel Hart out of Mississippi, and we worked and wrote the song. They can sing. They can sing.
I saw the video.
What are your storylines on your song? What do you write about?
It depends because every song, I've written angry songs to love songs to heartbreak songs to this song that is getting ready to come out is the Grown Ass Woman song. It's the Goth song. And it is a female power anthem. I'm so stoked about it. And we were hoping to have it out
send it to me
right around that. I'll send it to you to get a little sneak peek. And so you
cannot wait to hear it. We can air it on here.
Yeah.
Actually air it.
Yeah.
Mickie, I don't know if you remember writing. I gave you a journal to write in and you wrote down something. She rips it out and she gave it to me and she said, here, this is what I want to happen in my life. Do you know, I found it the other day. I still have it. Everything
you gotta mail it to me. Did any of them come true?
Everything in there you're doing.
Oh,
so it's
you gotta mail it to me.
But wait, hold on. You gave that to me.
It's the power, the power of writing it.
I'll take. There is that. You say that, Holly, but I go there's one thing. You need to speak it, and you need to see it, and you visualize it. But the power, I feel like when you write something along with the power of saying it and believing it, putting it the actual written part of it, you can literally write your life. I do believe that. And so you just have to be real cognizant of how you, even when you're texting and talking about yourself or your goals or your visions, when the minute that you put in doubt or disbelief or some type of negative those all add up because it doesn't hear it like that, right? It just hears what you want. That's what it hears, so you have to be real. That is one thing I've been focusing on the most, I think, in all of this, having too much time with myself is the art of like what you speak and what you say and choosing your words. You must choose your words very, very wisely, because they will come to you just the way you say them.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. That whole thing of what we think is what we speak is what we act out. What we act out is what we create in the results, what we manifest essentially into our lives.
So Holly has an affirmation, right? It's funny because you were talking about, Nick's, your supplement that you and Nick have. So Holly has an affirmation, and it's so positive that what you were saying is all like in that affirmation that you send me. It actually relaxes me. It's true. What you say.
Oh, the recorded one. Yeah, I did.
I love it. We have to. I'm
meditation affirmations. And I recorded it and set it to visuals. So you can watch it while you're doing it, or you can just listen if you just want audio. Right. So I'd love to share that with you. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I love that you're into that.
I listen to those all the time. I listen to like meditations, and I found that for me, like, I love a good, like, if I have 30 minutes to do something, but a 10-minute meditation or a 5 will reset me, especially if I find myself going down like a negative wormhole. I can reset all the time. Like, I'll do a 5-10 minute meditation and just completely feel it's part of my morning routine. It is part of my morning thing. It's like my affirmations and like what you speak in the mirror, like speaking it to yourself in the mirror, and then actually like there is so much power, because you can truly look in the mirror and see your eyes and see if you even believe what you're saying.
The mirror work.
I look kind of cocky right now, don't I? I look kind of cocky right now. Yeah, because you know what? I look in that mirror lately and I've been saying shit and it's coming true. I'm telling you.
Did you just say I look kind of cocky right now?
I do, because I have that look like I am back. Like you have no idea. Like nothing's going to stop me now. And we are, let me tell you, Mupo Entertainment will be in every household all throughout the world, the universe.
I hope so.
And the workout show is going to be a #1 workout show. Telling you, Mickie, we're doing it. And the sitcom is going to bring back the 90s.
I don't know.
Oh yeah,
we're going to do that.
They are doing a lot of throwback television, a lot of retro television.
No, I'm serious, Holly. I'm going to get you the script. You got to do an NDA, but I'm going to tell you. Well, actually, you did an NDA, so I'm going to get you the script.
I did.
Yeah. So
the premise sounds awesome. I absolutely love it.
I said to Holly, I got to get you an NDA. She already is part of the company. Like I'm so.
I know. She's like, what? Okay.
The one I signed a while ago.
Yeah. No, but so it's going to be the 90s setting. It has to be, Mickie, because I'm telling you.
Oh, it has to be a throwback with some of the stuff, but we wrote that so long ago. It's almost like we need to revise it and kind of edit it and bring it up to, but it depends on the setting. Like I think a throwback to like early 90s would be fun, because then we could do like early 90s music and pre social media, still phone calls on the telephone, on your home line.
Oh my God. People could actually see what it was like before social media was part of a body attachment.
No, I had a cell phone from AT&T and it had a antenna like the size of a,
oh my God.
It was, I don't know if you
remember the ones that looked like big giant walkies.
I had one.
The first cell phones that you would plug in your car and it plugged up into the car lighter.
Yes.
And it came in like a little pouch, and then you'd have to unflap it with the Velcro, and then it's still attached to that device. Yeah. Yes. Oh, the Motorola flip phones were life. Remember, like
the Razor, the BlackBerry. I
had those.
Mickie, was it you that made me get the BlackBerry?
I remember how excited I was when I got my BlackBerry.
Mickie said, that was a big step. Mickie said for me to get the BlackBerry. I had the BlackBerry, and then 2 days later, she got the iMac. What did you get? The iPhone.
The iPhone. I don't know if because I liked the BlackBerry once I got used to it, but I love my iPhone. I'll be honest. She got me to get the iPhone. I had to get the iPhone. That's what it was. I told you to get off the BlackBerry. The BlackBerry was dated, and get on the iPhone. She's over there still trying. She goes, you know what it was? Your little rolly ball was broken. That's what I remember. I said, "Oh, my volleyball broke."
They called them crackberries. People were addicted to.
Yes.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back for more with Mickie James. All right. And we are back on Mupo and Friends with Mickie James.
So what's next with Mickie James? Tell everybody.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I have a lot of irons in the fire. I'm working on a lot of different projects, a lot of different things, but the next thing coming is this new single. Music. I've been working really hard on that. So I'm excited to roll all of that out. I'm excited about the Her Legacy brand, about growing into, really match the women on the other side now that we're growing Legacy so much. We got some cool things happening there. And yeah, so much. I can't tell you all my secrets.
You're just going to have to stay tuned.
Secrets, but not on air.
Yeah. And I'm open to ideas. The world's full of ideas,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap, Mickie, we're going to do a fill in the blank. And I'm going to say a statement or a few words, and you finish them. Are you ready?
Oh, God. Okay. I'm terrible at games, by the way, guys.
All right. The best way to empower other women.
To empower other women is to praise them, is to I always say, I always try to find something that I like about somebody. I would always say whether it's, I really like your outfit, or, you're, you're shining so bright today, or whatever it is, like a compliment, because I think that people don't get complimented enough anymore. And it feels good. Yeah.
So true. Something I'd still like to accomplish.
I think for my music to get a freaking killer record, just one hit, or a little baby hit. That's all.
A perfect day in my life.
Just like a regular Sunday, a beautiful, where the weather is 80s, 85, and I have my horses and my son, and just chilling at home. That is perfect weather, family time, just sitting back and enjoying all of it.
And I love how you just visualize that as you were saying. I love it.
Yeah, I'm that's a perfect day, a perfect Sunday.
Awesome. Thank you, Mickie. It's been such a treat to meet you, hang with you. I know Michelle's super excited that you're here. We both are. And we actually want to have you back. We want to have more of you and interact on God. Folks, don't forget to look for Mickie James on GAW, Grown Ass Women, Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Eastern, on her YouTube channel at GAW TV. That's GAW TV. You can also find her. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was just agreeing with you. I was like, yeah.
Yes. And you can find her music videos on YouTube, as well as purchase on Mickie's music on iTunes. You follow, subscribe to Mickie on Twitter at Mickie James, and it's MICKIE, but I know you know this, Mickie James, and at GAW TV. Those are on Twitter. On Facebook under Mickie James and GAW TV. At the Mickie James on Instagram. And you got to hit her Instagram because she's real active on that too. And on LinkedIn under Mickie James, and at her website, www.mickiejames.com. As always, thank you for tuning in to Mupo and Friends. This is Holly Lombardi, and you can watch this courtesy of Mupo TV, this and all our shows at www.mupoentertainment.com. That is www.mupoentertainment.com. And thank you, Mickie James. Everybody give a warm applause for Mickie and our incredible host, CEO, and mastermind of Mupo Entertainment and Mupo TV, Michele Mupo. And this is Holly Lombardi And we are, ladies,
over and out.
Over and out.